Welcome back. I'm joined live now by Ted Clem, who is the president of the Economic Development Commission. Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Now, the first question, a lot of people don't know exactly what the EDC is and what you guys do. So if you could please first explain that for all of our viewers.
Well, I still haven't been able to explain it to my mother, but the Economic Development Commission is a public-private partnership between the Chamber of Commerce here, the City of Albany, and Dougherty County. And our job is to try to bring jobs to Albany, to attract new businesses and that can make investments in our local economy and hire people.
Now, this may kind of seem like a gimme question, but why is it so important that that entity exists in Albany and Dougherty?
Well, economic development is very important for every community to have in fact, nationwide there are over 15,000 economic development organizations in the country. So it's highly competitive. We have to work very hard to bring new businesses to Albany and to help the business that we have grow and expand. Our economy is an ever-changing cycle, and if we don't try to do our best to keep the business we have and to make sure that they're happy and the community is engaged with them, as well as try to bring in new investment, if we don't do that, this cycle, as the cycle churns, we'll just continue to lose jobs.
Absolutely. And speaking of jobs, you know, successfully we've been able to report for the last few months a slight decrease, very small numbers, but in unemployment numbers, meaning more Southwest Georgians are getting jobs and keeping jobs,
Sure.
which is great.
Yeah.
And I do want to highlight for everyone that your office has been instrumental in bringing hundreds of jobs to the area. Tell me a little bit about that.
We've had success of late, and I think it's a sign that the Albany economy is starting to come out of the recession a little bit. Just over the last 4 months, we've been able to, just from the projects we've been involved in and the companies we've been working with, close to 400 new jobs have been announced from those, from companies from Dominion Chemical, Equinox, the Olive Garden, and many other. Teleperformance has also recently announced 200 jobs that they're adding to their company. So good news for Albany, and it couldn't come at a better time.
Absolutely. Okay, so another thing, if you're watching our newscast earlier, you guys had an awards breakfast this morning. Why is it important not only to bring jobs to our area, but to recognize those who are doing a great job who are here?
And we get a lot of attention for the new companies that we bring to town, but the most important work that we do is with our existing industries. It's very important that we continue to work with them as they have opportunities to grow and expand, that we can bring resources to the table, whether it's state incentives or job training programs or anything that we can do to try to help them be successful. You know, one of the stories that was told this morning at the breakfast was from Sasco Chemical.
Okay.
Just a couple of years ago, they were on the verge of leaving Albany. They thought they saw an opportunity in the Atlanta area that seemed a good opportunity for them as a business, but we were able to spend time with them, bring some resources to the table, and really I think it was just our attitude as a community that we want them here. We want to help them grow and succeed, convince them to stay here. And that's why we have Industry Celebration Week. We don't want to take anything for granted, that the companies we have here are very important to us. And this community wants to work with you. We want to work hard to have a business-friendly environment, and anything we can do to help them be successful, we're there for them.
What's some of the feedback that you received from the breakfast this morning from the various 4 companies that received the awards?
Well, I think the companies are very appreciative, one, that somebody recognizes the contributions that they make, and the contributions are so varied. It's not just the jobs that they create, the investment that they make is wonderful, because that's what keeps our economy growing and churning, but the fact that they give back to the community. Gerdau Longstill won our Good Life City Award for their corporate citizenship. Where will we be in Albany without the contributions our businesses make to the community in so many different areas? So I think it's a wonderful opportunity we have to say thanks and to give them some recognition.
Perfect. All right. Well, we have a lot more coming up right after the break with Ted Clem with the who's the president of the Albany-Dougherty Economic Development Commission. We just finished talking about hundreds of jobs that have been brought to town, the industry awards this morning, but now we're going to talk about something a little bit different. T-SPLOST is up for a vote soon. That's a transportation special local option sales tax. And I want to ask, how important is transportation and infrastructure with attracting businesses to our community?
Well, you can't have commerce without transportation. We in Southwest Georgia feel that every day because we make do without an interstate highway coming through our community. But the quality of our roads is very important to commerce, to business, being able to get goods and goods to where they need to be, get the raw materials in, critical.
Okay, good to know. So something to keep in mind when you guys go to the polls later this year. And another thing we want to talk about, people may not always think about this. I think about it daily. A lot of people in news think about it daily. One thing you guys say often, I don't watch the news because it's negative. Well, we do have some positive stories too. But talking about that, how important is a positive image for Albany in bringing in businesses to our town?
You know, I tell people this often. They look at us at the Economic Development Commission as being the frontline salespeople for Albany. And I correct them as often as I can because everybody sells Albany. The image that we have, the perception we have reflects itself to those who visit our community. Oftentimes when we were working with to bring a new company to Albany, they'll come for a visit. They often come unannounced. Sometimes they come and they don't tell us. They come to do their own checking, their own investigations. They'll talk to the desk clerk at the hotel. They'll visit the local coffee shop just to see what the general population is, what they're talking about. They read our newspapers. They watch our television broadcasts. Right. So they want to get a sense of how we feel about ourselves. And honestly, if we don't believe in ourselves as a community, how can we convince a business to invest millions of dollars and hire our people? Is not very likely to happen that way.
And it's not just the people out front and the TV stations and the newspapers. It's also unconventional research methods. So they're looking at blogs, personal blogs. They're looking at various websites online. So the reason we here at Fox 31 feel so passionately because we try to give you a good balance of what's going on. And yes, sometimes there is going to be crime, but sometimes there's not. And we do our due diligence when there's positive news to highlight the hundreds of jobs that are coming to town. We're constantly trying to promote that as well. And we want you, the viewer, to know that it directly affects other businesses coming to town, because if we have a negative image, that could potentially...
And the fact is, I'm a relative newcomer to Albany, and I know several others who have moved here in the last couple of years, and they're kind of taken aback by the attitude that is reflected from the community itself. We live in a wonderful community, great quality of life, low cost of living, the climate where a golfer like myself can play golf in January.
There you go.
Where can you live and do that? It's a wonderful place to live and raise children. And my family is excited to be here, and I know many others are. And really, if we think deep down ourselves, we all love Albany. So let's love it.
Absolutely. There are a lot of positive things in Southwest Georgia we can brag about, and we want you to. And if you doubt me, go to our website, mysouthwestga.com, and I guarantee you